Hello, welcome in and/or welcome back. My name is Megan Azure Pearl, and I'm a curious soul creating space for other curious folks. I recently decided that I want to create more presence, play, and exploration in my own life. What that means is moments of presence, just being present, play, as in just that childlike wonder that tapping into, basically, just more play. And exploration, meaning not literal, it doesn't have to mean literally exploring a new place. It can be exploring old and new places, exploring old and new topics. Um, so if that sounds good to you and you're curious about my own journey and you're curious about exploring those topics within yourself, I invite you to stick around. Today, what I'm most curious about is what is that thing that there's probably multiple things, but maybe there's like one thing that you're always do when you're by yourself and you never really show it to anyone. Is that your authentic self? Why do you hide it from other people? What would really happen if you showed it to other people? Probably some would be like, ew, those aren't your people. And others would be ecstatic and excited that you're just showing and living in your joy. That's exciting. An example for myself is dance. Now, you will absolutely catch me in the grocery store just vibing and jamming. Even if I don't like the music that they're playing, I will just be like staring at the frozen aisle, being like, okay, what do I want to pick? And I'll just be like, yeah, all right, cool. Um, because I just don't care what people think. But more so, what I mean is, I have intentional dance sessions in my household that I do when no one else is around. I started those when I still lived with my parents, when I moved back in for the last time. But now I live with a housemate, and I only do those sessions when she isn't there. However, now I also sometime started doing those in the woods. I found this wonderful, magical spot in the woods that I don't know, I'm just able to put on my AirPods, put on a playlist, play a couple songs, and just do one of those intentional dance sessions that I would usually only do away from prying eyes in my own home. And it's so freeing. Sometimes there's people that walk by, but they're minding their own business. They don't care. Um, I don't know what I would do if somebody were to like stop and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" When that time comes, I'll see what the vibes are. Maybe it will lead to a conversation. Maybe it will lead to them being like, "Hey, can I join you?" I have no idea. We'll see what happens when the time comes. Again, we'll just vibe it out. But like again, what is that thing that you do behind closed doors that you're just afraid to share with people? Post in the comments below. And really, what would happen if you shared it with others? I'm curious. Until next time, farewell, folks. Farewell, friends. Thank you for being here.